everybody was smarter on that.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Sims, and this is That Comic Show. Alright, finally came out. Captain Mar-Vell dropped this weekend. Actually, it dropped last night. I was so fortunate to be able to still see it, even though some circumstances, but whatever. We ain't here to talk about that. We're here to talk about my initial reaction. Now, my initial reaction of this movie is... Let me stop. This movie was very confusing. Let's keep it real. It was a very confusing movie. However, it was a very fun and enjoyable ride. So let's take a look at some things from the movie. I'm not going to explain everything. I'm not going to spoil everything because you know how we do. We have a roundtable discussion. We're going to try to get some people here. We're going to try to talk about this. Now, the movie itself starts off pretty good. Still confusing. We're right in the middle of everything that's going on with Carol Danvers. Now, Carol Danvers is the actual main character of the movie, Captain Mar-Vell. Now, she is actually not really called Captain Mar-Vell in the movie. However, she takes on the moniker of one of her, I guess one of the captains from a memory that she had, whose name was Mar-Vell, because she was really a Cree that was disguised as a human that tried to do something with this. See, I'm explaining too much of the story. I'm not even going to go into all that. The movie itself, again, very, very good. Very confusing at the same time. Remember, we are in the 90s. Now, because we're in the 90s, we're going on a nostalgic ride. Now, if you were born in the 90s or if you were a kid in the 90s, you will appreciate this movie a lot. We see Blockbuster, we see Radio Shack, we see a couple of different things from our past, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. If you are a Marvel fan from the very beginning, from the first Iron Man movie back in 2008, you will enjoy the references. They're sprinkling references all through the movie. We see a young Nick Fury. We see a young Coulson. It's awesome how we see them in this younger state. Now, Nick Fury has two eyes, and later on we see what happens with those two eyes. Well, clearly we do. Anyway, we see the Kree, and we're getting into this story that we kind of scratched at in Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, we see Ronan the Accuser. We also see Korath the Pursuer. We see these two characters and they're working very closely together and they're trying to get the orb, if you remember the movie. Now, we're seeing a lot of this in this movie. Now, Ronan the Accuser is somewhere in the background and the Kree soldiers are the ones that are stepping in to do this job. They are trying to stop the Skrulls. Now, the Skrulls are the shapeshifters and everything like that. We see that from the trailer. Now, we see that these characters look like that they're the villains. Or are they? That's the confusing thing. Now, the Skrulls are able to manipulate themselves and they can transform into anybody, even down to the DNA. So we don't know who's who. We don't know how many Skrulls are still on Earth. We don't even know how many Skrulls are infiltrating and actually are the good guys, when in actuality they're the bad guys, but they're not really the bad guys because they're the good guys because they're fighting for something. You see what I mean? A lot of stuff is going on in this movie, so you have to pay close attention. They have to connect all the tissues from the other movies to make sense of Captain Mar-Vell. Now remember, this is in the 90s. Captain Mar-Vell has been around for all this time. So the questions come up. Where was she with all the other things that have been going on in Earth's history? Very similar to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has been around for 100 years, and all the things that's been happening in the years leading up to her reveal. Where have you been all this time? Now, Marvel has to do the same job that DC has to do in explaining this, because you can't really just put things together and hope that they all match, because they really don't. Now, there's a piece in this movie that really confuses you, and again, I'm not trying to spoil anything for you. I want you to go out and see this movie and then come back and watch the actual review. This is just a reaction. But there is a piece in this movie that's going to confuse you and it's going to blow your mind. And you're going to be like, what? But guess what? It's alright, because they kind of explain everything else. The action is top notch, as always. It's come to expect it of a Marvel film. The background is pretty good as far as the music selections are concerned. Remember, we're in the 90s, so we're seeing a lot of our 90s hits coming back, and I think that's awesome. You guys need to go check this movie out. I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. Even though it confused the heck out of me, I still enjoyed it thoroughly. If I was to rate this movie right now based on me just seeing it, I'm going to see it again, but based on me just seeing this movie, I'm going to give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. However, because of the fact that the beginning credits, the beginning Marvel logo showed nothing but Stan Lee, given us a lot. He's given us a whole lot. I wouldn't be the comic book nerd that I am now if it wasn't for him, Steve Ditko, and all the others. So, yeah, because of that, I'm going to bump it up to 8.0. An 8 out of 10. I'm going to bump it up to that. There's a nice little scene in the movie that we see, and there's a couple of other scenes in the movie that was really subtle and is really good. If you enjoy these type of movies, if you enjoy Marvel movies, you're really going to enjoy this. I can honestly say that this is not the end of the Marvel train. This train is going to keep on rolling, and this movie, I think, is going to be a pretty good addition to the actual fabric. I don't think it's going to be a hit, because guess what? We have a hit that's coming up, and that's Endgame. Everybody's mind is still on Infinity War, that we just trying to get to Endgame now. And we have to get through these movies in between. But guess what? I'm looking forward to Endgame. This movie was really enjoyable. Go out and see this movie. Come back here around maybe Sunday, Monday morning. We're gonna drop our actual review and spoiler review. So get ready for that. And we're gonna drop a special video as well. I'm never gonna ruin it for you. Just check out the channel and see what it is. Once again, this is your boy Sam's. This is that reaction. 8 out of 10. Solid movie. Great addition to the universe. And the after credit scene. Whew. Yeah, we stepping right into Endgame. Sam's out.